Hi guys and welcome back to the channel. Today I've got two replays in the Chinese Tier 8 Tech Tree Heavy Tank, the 110. Now this is a tank that you don't see all that often really, and you probably won't really see again on the channel, unless it's in a non-track series video. And that's because, well, if you haven't guessed by the title as always, this is the third mark video for the tank, and yeah, there's not really much reason to play it. That's because it's not the best heavy tank in the universe. It's just okay. It's not bad, but it's just not. It's not really that good, unfortunately, for the 110. Now I use the 100mm gun on this tank, which has like 218 pen and I think 265 prem pen. It's not a bad gun. Pretty derpy at times, which can be annoying. That's why I run vert stabs, rammer and optics. Rammer because the reload isn't even that decent either really, to be honest, for 320 on a heavy tank. When there's quite a few tanks that will slap you for harder for a little bit more time on the reload, you don't really trade as well. The armour on the tank doesn't behave that well because if you're facing dead onto someone, the pike on the front is pretty strong. But the lower plate is huge on this thing. And if you get shot in the lower plate or through the pike nose on the upper plate, you will also get set on fire. And it's pretty easy for people to wreck you, unfortunately. So as a heavy tank, it doesn't hold up all that well at times. It can't really side scrape either because the pike nose tends to hinder that. And as well as that, it doesn't have like magic Russian spaced armor, which is, you know, it's obviously a fake Russian knockoff. It doesn't have the Russian spaced armor, and people do tend to pen that side. And again, it gets set on fire. So because it gets set on fire, in my crew skills, I run Born Leader, Sixth Sense, Track Mechanic, Situational Awareness, Fire Prevention, Snapshot, Rapid Reload, Steady Aim, and Run and Gun. Now I run Fire Prevention because this thing likes to get set on fire. A lot of the Chinese heavies like to get set on fire as well, and it's, yeah, you want to be taking a fire skill, either firefighting or fire prevention. I think this was a crew that I set up at first when 6.0 first came out, so I took fire prevention because it's 33% less chance of getting set on fire. I still get set on fire quite a lot even if I've got that skill, so I like to I have changed it in the end. I took firefighting because I was getting set on fire all the time anyway, so 33% less chance of getting set on fire wasn't helping because I was always getting set. I was still always getting set on fire. So it's kind of like, what's the point? So I put firefighting on instead to make it so that if I did get set on fire, it didn't set me on fire for as long as it normally would. So in this game on Vineyards, me and Swindle have managed to go down the A-line. It's something I don't really do that often from our well, from our spawn that we got, actually, I would go down the A-line, but it doesn't work out as well as you'd think that often. Whereas if I was on the other spawn, I would have gone down the K-line. But actually, this is because these replays are from a wee while ago, and there's the dodgy spawns on Vineyards where they're both all on that H-line. I don't think we get those spawns anymore, and they were pretty unbalanced spawns. But yeah, we went straight down the A-line because that K-line push tends to work a lot if they push straight down the K-line. You get a lot of people that would have camped at J9, and it just became a pain in the bum. So we were just like, you know what, let's go down the other way. And we managed to rush down. Swindle's rushed ahead now to try and spot things. I'm like, yeah, sure, I'll shoot things as you spot them. We're hoping to get things lit up. He manages to light up a 50 TP prototype. Can't quite get a shot at him there because there's a building in the way. But now we're coming into a position where we could get a shot. We try and snap one on the move. Gun hits the skies. We hit a little weird ridgeline, and yeah, we end up not hitting him. The Indian Panzer that was spotted earlier on is on the move. He's trying to get away, so we're just focusing on trying to hit him on the move. I don't really want to stop because we are still in the open, but no one seems to have taken any notice of us. We only got detected once in that whole sequence of crossing the open, and that was when the Indian Panzer actually looked at us. So it's kind of like, okay, I don't think really anything's looking this way. So let's just move up. We moved straight up onto this ridgeline, and we're now trying to get ourselves into a position where we can get a shot at the 50 prototype. Now there's a Type 59-2 that's been spotted, and unfortunately, these guys are pretty hull down, and we're not going to get a shot at them really from here. But now we've actually got shots at the side of a panther in the distance. So it's like, well, I'll just ignore you two while I can just farm a panther. We get one shot into the panther, but he, unfortunately for our farming needs, backs off. So we can't quite get a shot at it anymore. I'm trying to find a shot into the side of these guys. We do get it into the side of the 50 TP prototype. Shut him down. And we're now looking at the Type 59-2. He is fully hull down though. We're not doing anything to that while he's there. We need to push under the ridgeline and get under his gun so he can't fire and we can get better shots at him. I'm looking at these two heavy tanks in the distance because I was just about seeing outlines. I was thinking maybe I could get a shot. The artillery's been spotted. He's rushing Swindle, I think. Well, he's spotted there anyway. I don't know what he was doing. But we shut him down. Now we've got this Type 59-2 in the open and we just can't get the shot at him, unfortunately. And I'm just constantly keeping my eye out for shots because our team is actually near our base has completely crumbled. At one stage they had that down, but now they've completely gone. We've got to be quick about getting rid of this Type 59-2 and heading back towards our base. Unfortunately, as we were moving in there, on the move, we kind of snapped the shot a bit, but it was mostly aimed at his upper plate, lower plate, and we ended up hitting the tracks and only did track damage. He got a shot into us, puts us on lower health. Really annoying, but that's just the way it is. Now we're going to go after this panther that's coming after Swindle. Swindle pops a shot in. The panther's a one-shot, I think, for us. Can't quite see. Yeah, he is a one-shot for us. We pop around the corner, finish him off. Now there's actually only one medium tank left because I think the artillery and the medium tank managed to snipe the two heavies that were coming out the Abbey. There's one guy left. Look where he is. We have to finish this in style, right? It's a T-43. Geronimo! And we crush him. Finish the game in absolute style, just how you want. Star points in the bag. Victory. Swindle comes top because he had a pretty nice game. 5.6k damage for him. That was a good game for him. 2k base. 7 kills, 3.3k damage, 434 assists. Devastator, ace tanker, top gun. That was at 93.2. 1697 base XP as well. But that combined is what? 3.7, 3.8k combined, which is a nice total for it. There was 1 or 2 games between this and the next one, which put us up to like 94. I think it was 94.4. I think I was at. Something like that. It was quite a while ago. I'm trying to remember it. But that meant that I knew that if I had another game that was about 4k damage, I would probably get the 3rd mark. So we're on to the next game, and the next game is on El Haloof, and we're going to take the 110 to the area that I would normally take a heavy tank on El Haloof, and that is the Brawling Corner on AB12. Oh, just on the 1-2 line generally, really. And that's because it's a good place to fight, really, for a heavy tank. Unfortunately, we've not got gun depression in this tank, so we can't take the area at B3, which is where I'd normally go when I'm going to the corner. I'd normally go there, sit there, hull down, try and get shots at people that cross. If they fail, then I've got nice shots into them. But unfortunately, with this tank only having 6 degrees of gun depression, it's not that easy. So instead, we're going to go down the A line and try and get into the corner and get some good shots out. Because from this corner, we can sort of bottleneck any tanks that come towards us, and in that way, they are... Well, basically, if they push us too aggressively, we can force them around the corner, and they'll probably end up having to attack my friends that will be sat behind me. The only issue, obviously, is you've got to be careful of this crosshair, because this crosshair can be dangerous. But fortunately enough for us, this Ragnarok that was on that crossing really wasn't paying attention, was just trying to focus the guys on the ridge like Swindle, and just got wrecked. But we got a nice shot into him, and now we're going to move on to the corner where some heavy tanks are pushing up, which is nice. Which means we can try and get some shots into them, and hopefully we won't get focused out too much. We'll drive around the corner, get a shot into the 65T, pull back before anything happens, and we're going to just try and side scrape out a little bit off of this rock here. Now we're over angling a little bit, which means we might take it, but we get a nice shot into the lower plate of the Mauerbrecher. This guy's got a lot of hit points and is not the hardest to pen in the universe. We managed to get a shot into the lower plate of the Paladin. I was kind of hoping to track and pen in there on the outside drive wheel, because if you didn't know, like the Conqueror, You can track and pen those tanks through the outside drive wheel. We get a nice shot through the T-77. He, in his haste to try and drop his whole clip into us, drives around the corner, gets wrecked by everyone behind us. That's basically what I was on about with this corner, is that if you push it and they start pushing you aggressively, if they get over aggressive, they get pummeled by all your friends and then end up losing loads of health. So we get a nice shot again into the Paladin, leave him on very little health. He gets shut down. The Mauerbrecher drives around to try and shoot Swindle, hits the tank in front of him. We get a nice shot into his side. He's on 318 hit points. Swindle doesn't manage to finish him off, but it's a Mauerbrecher. Because of 6.0 and the pen RNG, we managed to get a shot straight through his cheeks. He's got about 220 effective armor on his cheeks. We've got 218 pen. But the pen rolls that you get these days with the plus 25, minus 10, or minus 15, one of the two, easy pen. Because, yeah, heavy tanks, armor, doesn't mean too much sometimes when you've got that sort of RNG. So we're now going after the heavy tanks that are on this corner. We're not the healthiest, which is not helpful, but hopefully they won't really be looking at us. So we drive around the corner, get a shot into the drive wheel of this 112. I'm hoping that people will drive around the corner and shoot this 112 while he's tracked. But unfortunately, everyone pulled back even though he wasn't paying attention. And then the Paladin manages to block our shot. We're trying to get the drive wheel shot before anyone else, but Swindle manages to get it. And this 112 is dead meat. We get a nice shot in to finish him. And now there's just a 65T that's on this corner with us that we've got to shut down. I'm just dodging out behind these rocks here in case there's anything down there that could finish us off. And now we're going to go on the outside because I don't want to rush straight down the one line. Rushing down the one line is a quick way to die at times, because if there's anything like the TDs that are spotted now, they will end up just wrecking your day, and that's not what you want. We get a nice shot snapped into the back chat 12T. Don't pen him, but fortunately enough track him, and in that way, tracking him, we get 601 assistance from Swindle and the other guy snapping him on the move, which is nice. Which is 4.7k combined. At this point, I'm like pretty convinced I've got it, but I want to try and make sure. So we're driving around, and as we drive around, this ISU gets spotted, and I'm thinking, well, I'm dead. No, fortunately enough, he's stock. He's got the derp gun, so that means that he doesn't kill us there. He just hits us with HE. We're trying to get a shot into the small part of his armor there. Unfortunately, miss. We pull out. We're just going to wait for him to drive out. Mostly aimed, and unfortunately, the derpy gun comes into play again. We hit the floor in front of him, which is really annoying. I can't side scrape this guy out because, well, we know he's got a derp gun, right? So if he's got the derp gun, he's going to finish us off, which is not what we want. So he's really determined just to shoot us. He was focused so hard on us that he let himself get killed by everybody else, which is really unfortunate. It means we don't get any extra damage into him. But there's only one tank left. It's this heavy tank. There's a Mil 1 over here. The likelihood of us getting shots at this guy is, well, not really likely, unless he drives out straight in front of us, which would be very kind of him. But unfortunately, he's behind these houses. The Indian Panzer gets a shot into him, and the Dragon finishes him off. But we finished the game with 4.7k combined. Like I said, I was pretty convinced it was going to be the third mark. We finished with the victory. We come top, 2 kills, 4.1k damage, 601 assistance, ace tanker, high caliber, and the third mark of excellence. And yeah, it was really nice to just finish this tank. It's a pretty old school tank, and it was nice to do it. Finished the game with 1700 base XP, like I said, 2 kills and the 4.7k combined. But it's not one you're going to see all that often. You're probably not going to see it again on the channel until we get a 113 or a 5.8 on track. So as always, everybody, thank you very much for watching. I'll see you next time.
A great success!